case study using the project service automation, and then we are going to map those requirements, how we can implement the same case study using the cutting edge technology, which is the project operations. So what we are going to achieve with this project operations is we will be able to deliver our projects on time, and then we will have our on time and on budget. So I was just looking for my pointer here. So projects delivery on time and on budget. So with this one, I'll quickly jump to a brief introduction about myself. My name is Faisal Farid. I am working as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 technical architect here in Australia at DXC Technology. I'm a technology enthusiast. This is all my own opinions. I'm a Power Platform learner, still at the learning stage. I'm an active blogger, speaker, and the Power Community Ambassador. I'm also being awarded at Microsoft Dynamics Community Spotlight Award at the start of this month. So this is the place where Raz was mentioning that this is the one place like everyone should be a part of this Microsoft Dynamics community. I'm also running ANZ Dynamics 365 FinOps team group here in Australia and New Zealand region. So I started this group last year, and I have so many volunteers. One of the volunteers is still in a call, Rachit, and we are all helping Australia and New Zealand region. All the professionals come forward, and we are presenting all the finance and operations and Power Platform features for them. I'm also a community leader for Pakistan Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Have been running for more than 6 months now. It's going really well. I'm helping all the community back into my home country in Pakistan, where I'm helping everyone to come forward and build a new community and speak in any language. If you want to reach out to me, or if you want to speak in any of the groups which I have recently mentioned above, you can reach me on my LinkedIn profile, on my Twitter, and I do write blogs. You can follow me on my blogs on this link, and all my presentations, all my sessions are recorded, and you can watch me on YouTube. With this one, I'll quickly hand over to Esther.
Thanks, Faisal. So I've been implementing in, just give me 1 second, I've got some feedback. Okay, all right, thanks. So I've been working and implementing Dynamics 365 since 2013. So my main specialty, special area is the finance module and also the project accounting functionalities. And recently, last year, I've had the opportunity to work with the dual write solution, as well as the field service project, project implementation last year. So it's been 2 years that implementation. So Faisal have reached out, and because he started this FinOps ANZ team, and I've got the opportunity to join, and I'll be more active in that group as well to present more of the project accounting solutions. Thank you, Faisal.
Thank you, Esther. And most importantly, I and Esther work together in the same company in many different projects. So we have worked together more than 2 years now. So back to the agenda today. What we are going to achieve today. So we will. It's a very new technology. It's recently got generally available. So we just wanted to set up the stage. We just wanted to show you. Okay. What is finance project operations. So we will tell you an introduction, and then what industry coverage and features this new app provides you. What are the deployment options available? how we can integrate between finance and operations and customer engagement or project operations. So there is a dual right involved here, and then we will Esther is going to demonstrate you few case studies, and we will summarize it. If any questions, please feel free to ask any question in a chat window or at the end of the presentation. So first question is, what is Dynamic 365 project operations? And what has been the journey so far from Microsoft side? So if you look at this slide, Microsoft has announced project operations in February 2020, and then they are going to release this app in the market. So this was the announcement, like they made in 2020 February, like Microsoft is going to release this app into a market, and they shared their vision of consolidating different applications which are catering project service industry. So there were different applications, each offering separate set of industries. And the objective and the vision of Microsoft is to bring all applications under one umbrella as one application. So all the different areas of your organization use one application to make the process flow seamless. As you can see onto the left hand side of the picture, this is I'm talking about, we have three different type of applications. I will zoom in into this one shortly, but what happens on June 20, Microsoft announced the public preview of this application. The public preview announcement is Microsoft asked customers and partners to come forward and test their product and come with any ideas. And then at the end, in October 20, Microsoft actually generally released this project operations. Now, if we look at this part of the picture where we have different type of products or applications sitting separately, and if we want to zoom in this part now, what has Microsoft done? So there are three different products out in the market. Dynamic 365 project service automation. This is a very mature product, and this works really well with all the business processes related to the sales side. So your sales agent are using it, like they are creating all the quotations out of it, and your project managers are using it to manage your resourcing. So this provides all the features. Another product which we have is Microsoft Project. So Microsoft Project is being there for a long time, and it's really powerful, really robust. It provides all your scheduling project activities and resource plannings, very powerful features. Each product has its own powerful features and functionalities available. So Microsoft Project also available as a web version called Microsoft Project Pro Web. So the third application onto your right hand side, if you see here, is this is the Dynamic 365 Finance and Operations, which also allows you to do project transactions, project accounting, revenue recognitions, and invoicing. So we all talking about three different products focusing onto the project. So do you see there are three different products offering three different mutual matured functionalities across different business areas? Now, if we go back to the previous slide where we were talking about, Microsoft did the announcement, and now we zoomed into this particular part. And now if we zoom into the next offering which Microsoft is providing, so all the core functionalities, all the solid powerful functionalities taken from all these three different applications, Microsoft combined under one name called Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Project Operations. So the best of the best processes have been merged into one app. Most importantly, it is powered by the Power Platform. So that is the core, that is the more powerful feature. So you do not need to integrate any applications now. Everything will be sitting under the Dataverse, all your data is Dataverse, and you can utilize, you can leverage your Power Platform on top of that one. Not only this one, Microsoft is also providing you the ability to all the rest of the Microsoft ecosystems application, which is AI and machine learning. So you can use AI, machine learnings, business intelligence, and business insights on top of your project operations. So how cool is it? Like everything is sitting, is tightly integrated. No need for any sort of integrations now. The next point is where Microsoft actually, and this slide verifies the vision of Microsoft. What was the vision is projects on time and budget. So in project services companies, there are different type of people who work on different type of applications. As we see into this uh, picture here, so what used to happen traditionally is project managers are working in on their project management tools, resource managers, which is sitting over here somewhere, are working on to multiple resources, and the salespeople are working on their CRM system and engaging customers and converting opportunities into the customers. And then onto the actual people who are the team member over here, they are putting their time and expenses into the application which are hosted in-house, or you used to use some third-party application. And then you have your finance and operations team, which is running all your invoicing, and by consolidating data from various applications. So every team member or every different role used to be or still doing a different type of activities, but all in a isolation environment. So that is something it used to happen. But with the new dynamic 365 project operation, you can see here all the various personas are working across the same application. That means data is already consolidated, no need for consolidation. Data is already consolidated in one app, and everyone has the real-time insight, and every action whoever performs will impact the other person. And at the end, the team can work in more collaborative way, and the projects can be executed in more effective manner. That was the vision of Microsoft, and that's actually how Microsoft has achieved it. That's the vision, to do your projects on time and within budgets. Now, what industry coverage this project operations actually provides you? When it comes to the industry coverage, this application is not only for professional services and consulting companies. It also caters for different industries. If you are into the manufacturing industry or architecture, engineering, and consulting domain, even in healthcare services, which is the big industry now, there are various industries which are being serviced by this application platform. So you can easily see here, Microsoft is actually providing partners or ISV solutions to come forward, and you can write your own verticals on top of these industry coverage. No limitations. If so, what we have to build out, being a partner, we have to build out a thought process in a way that is not only for professional services organization. There are opportunities for partners and ISVs to leverage this platform and serve the market in a better way. So it's an open, just for the arguments explanation say, I would say it's an open source. Everyone, my partners and ISVs come forward, write their own ISV solutions on top of that one. That's it. And the thing which I really like is here you can see it is powered by the Power Platform. So the better together. So it is tightly integrated with the Dynamic 365, all the rest of the applications. And their portfolio. So that was the high level introduction. So I assume it may have resolved so many questions as of now. Why we need project operations? So what I'll do now quickly, due to the shortage of time here, so what is happening right now and what happened. So Microsoft actually disclosed uh, sorry, so Microsoft marketing disclosure. So I'll quickly talk about the transition look like. What is happening right now? So there is a lot of confusion in the market with the customers and the partners. Hey, there is a new product. What do I do? If I'm an existing customer, how does it impacts me in long run? So Microsoft has come up with a transition plan where they are continuously trying to convey this message that guys, this application has released, start your transition. There is a full support coming from Microsoft. So what has happened is in February Microsoft announced about this product. So Microsoft has already announced in Feb 2020. So now it's a call for all the partners to come to take a step and start working on to this one. So in October 1, Microsoft made is generally available, which we already see, which means that there are new customers, any new licenses. So any new customer or any new licenses, if you, they will not be, these will not be sold onto this platform. So that is really important. If you want to renew your uh, project like PMA license, that is something like you have to talk to your Microsoft account manager or Microsoft team. What is the way forward? So all Microsoft is also going to provide you all the migration tools which will support from PMA to project operations, and that's going to be available in April 2021. This slide is taken from Microsoft Docs, so all the dates and everything is updated on Microsoft. So Microsoft is going to provide you a 1 year of renewal to maintain PMA. And after 1 year, which is October 1st of 2021, this year, so you will not be able to renew any finance or any license for the PMA. No renewals at all. And then you have since Microsoft has will be able to provide you all the migration tools. So you have to migrate your PMA to project operations. So in a long run of 4 years of timeline, Microsoft is actually aiming to replace all the PMA with the project operations. So that's a timeline from Microsoft. So so powerful. If we start from project sales, ends with the project financials. If you started with your sales process and then you did your planning, then you do your resource management and all your resources, do your time and expenses, and you do as a project manager, you are doing some project costing and pricing and then invoicing, and then ends with the project financials. Everything is happening seamlessly into one app, which is project operations. Now Microsoft, like, project operations come with three different deployment options. One is a light mode, and one is a resource non-stock, and the third is a stocked one. It's a little bit confusing naming convention, but if anyone has any question, let's deep dive into what these options are. Lightweight. So the light one is only Dataverse. So no project operations. You will have your project operations app only into your CE environment, or I would say as a customer engagement environment for Dataverse. Then you can integrate with any other finance system. So no finance and operations. Stocked or production one, it's completely sitting into the finance and operations. So no Dataverse at all. The option which we have chosen for today's presentation is the resource and the non-stock one, because we wanted to run through a couple of scenarios which Esther is going to show you, and there we have used a dual write integration, and we have the Dataverse, and we also have the project of finance and operations. So whenever you deploy your environment, there will be a visit. It's a very brief visit there. It explains you everything in detail there. You go through all the points and identify what option is good for your implementation. And then we have the dual write integration between, as I said, it's just the integration framework between finance and operations and CDS or DataWorks environment. There are a couple of steps. I'll quickly run through these ones. If you have set up your dual write, you just need to go through all these 7 steps here. So create companies in finance and operations. That is the part of your implementation, not necessarily for implementation of your project operation. If you establish the dual write connection, apply an appropriate solutions for the project operations, and then run all the dual write maps there. Uh, then run all the prerequisites, enable dual write, and that would be it. So there we are going to share all the resources about whatever we have talked so far at the end of the presentation. Then we quickly move to the case study steps. So what the case study we are going to present today is, Esther is going to create a lead, an opportunity, and a quotation from a one persona, and then she will show you how you can create project during your quotations process. Then the next step would be how we can create project task and scheduling within project operations. And at the end of the case study, she will show you how we can create project billing invoices. So with this one, I'll quickly hand over to Esther.
Thank you, Faisal. So let me share my screen and I'll take you through the case study.
Sure.
Okay. So essentially, this case study that I have developed for today's presentation is essentially using just the standard dual write template and as well as standard project operations functionality. So this case study here revolves around Precision Cleaning. That is a company who specializes in cleaning and maintaining airport facilities. And Alex, who is the business development manager, he's been working to obtain a contract with Melbourne Airport to clean and maintain the Melbourne Airport. So essentially, what I'm going to show you in here is the case study will start from an existing lead that Alex has developed and created, and he will actually qualify that lead. And what happens in the next stage is he will work with his team member to create and develop the code and in order to present to Melbourne Airport. So as you can see over here, he will then qualify that lead, and then that lead will actually create an opportunity automatically. So once this opportunity has been created, Alex and his team members will be able to develop the quotation lines, and I'll show you in detail what that means. And then the next step, we'll look at the next step as the case study progresses. So I'm gonna go into my environment right now. Just give me 1 second. Now, just a reminder, due to the time constraint, I'm just going to show something very high level at this stage, just to give you a taste of what project operations functionality has to offer. So right now, the dashboard that you're looking over here is the sales dashboard. And this is the view that Alex will see when he logs into project operations. So as you can see on my right-hand side, I've already got an existing open lead. And this is my Melbourne Airport lead that I've been working on. So the good thing about this is, let me just minimize this so I can get more real estate. So essentially, it gives me the opportunity to create a lead for a new prospect or an existing customer account. So in this case over here, it is a new prospect. So I've entered the information for Melbourne Airport, as well as the person I'm dealing with at the Melbourne Airport. Okay, if I go to the details section, I can also enter some additional information about Melbourne Airport. So essentially, I have qualified this lead And what I need to do is I'll click on qualify, and that will actually close this lead, and it will then create a opportunity for me to continue to develop the quotations for this opportunity. So I have actually done this before the presentation has, in preparation for this presentation. So I'm not going to click on qualify, but instead I'm going to move this to the next stage, just so that I can link to the existing opportunity that I've already created previously. So once it created the opportunity over here, it actually copies all the existing information from the lead. So as you can see over here, it copies the contact person, and also because it's a new account, it actually created the customer account for me as well. Okay. Additionally, it also has copied the standard product price list as well from my lead. So the next thing I will be doing as the business development manager is to enter the list of opportunity lines. So in my example over here, I have got two components in this opportunity. So the first one you can see over here is the general cleaning and COVID management. And you can see the billing method for this is fixed price. And I have put in a budgeted amount for this opportunity, which is 120,000. And the idea here is it's going to bill 10,000 for each month. So that's the fixed price bit. Then the second component in here is for the Melbourne Airport general maintenance. And for this component, because it's more of an ad hoc project, I've set it to time and material. So I've budgeted it to be $100,000. So once I've created all these opportunity lines, I can then move to the quotation lines to develop this opportunity further. Okay, so I have created this quote previously. So let me just open this, and I'll just show you what happens. So as you go through the process, when you create a new quotation, it will then copy all the information from the quotation lines, and that will be populated in the quote lines. So again, it's linking to that opportunity that I was just talking about. So if I show you the quote lines, and there is again, it's showing me the two components from the opportunity. So let me click into the quote lines. And the good thing about this, during the quotation, I can create these projects and I can link this to the quotation, to the quote lines over here. So this is actually a seamless screen. I didn't have to move away from the screen. So for example, if I open up this line, I can either link it to a project that I've created previously, or I can create a new project directly from project operations. So let me just go back a step, and I'll just show you a quotation line that I've already worked on. So let me get into this line over here. And this is essentially a fixed price, and I've linked that to a project as well. And I've put in the information for the quoted amount for this specific component. So all this other information that you see over here, the chargeable categories, for example, that's coming directly from the price list that's attached to this quote. Now, because this is a fixed price, I have the option over here to set up the billing schedule for this quote line. So I've set it over here to say bill at every first Monday of each month. And I can also define the billing date, assuming if I do win if I win this quote. So essentially, at the bottom bit, this is where I can either generate the milestones for the whole year, for example. And this basically to do this, it actually looks at the code amount that you have for this component, as well as the invoice frequency over here, as well as the start date of this billing, should you win this quotation. Now, alternatively, if I do not want to use this information, this function, it could be because the agreed billing might actually might differ. So what I can do over here, I can manually create all the different milestone lines. So in this example, I've created 3 different milestones, and that will start billing for the next 3 months. Okay, so let me go back to the next screen. So as I start building this quotation for the different components, I actually can view the profitability analysis as well, which is that's really good. And this really does give a seamless experience for the user point of view. So let me just go back a step. So essentially, I'm at this stage right now. And once I have developed my quotation, I will move that to the next stage. Okay, so let me go back to my slide. So essentially, as you can see over here, we have covered how to qualify the lead, how to create an opportunity, as well as creating the quotation lines. Now, the next step, what I'll do is actually closing the quote and the opportunity as one. So I'm just going to go to the next slide. So essentially, Alex, the business development manager, is basically, he received an official notification from Melbourne Airport that they have won the tender. So essentially what he's going to do right now, he's going to log in into the app. And from his sales dashboard, he's going to find the opportunity. And he's going to close that, that quotation. Just going to move back to my screen over here. Okay, so right now I'm at this screen of the opportunity. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close this as one. And what happens at this stage, so I'm just going to put in the estimated revenue for this contract. Let's say 220,000. And I can put in who were the competitor in this tender as well. I'm just going to do that bit. So what happened at this stage is the system will actually create a contract from an opportunity that the company has won. Just going to go back to my slide. Hang on. Okay. So during the quotation stage, we can also put in a soft booking for the different resources for a project. But in this specific case study, the next step is essentially can the project manager will actually use the schedule board, and he will find and allocate the resource to the project. So part of the task Ken will do is he will create all the tasks for the project, and he's going to do some scheduling as well. I'm going to go back here. So right now I'm looking at one of the project that has been created during the quotation phase. So this is in this one is actually the fixed price project. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go back a step, and I'm actually gonna use another project that I have, that the system has created for the time and material section of this project. Just give me 1 second. So that's my project over here. So this is my time and material project for the general maintenance. So it has, what it has done is it also linked all the quotation that's related to this project that's under the sales section. So we'll look at that in a minute. So as the project manager, I'm going to create all the different tasks that's required to deliver this project. I'll make this screen a bit smaller so it can fit better. So as you can see over here, I have created a couple of tasks that's necessary to deliver this project. So let me just, okay.
Andre.
And essentially there's 3 tasks over here. I have assigned a couple of resources for this specific task. I have also put in the duration and the effort required. And there's also the start and finish date that I have entered. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to book a resource. So I can either do a soft booking or a hard book. So in this case, I'll just book the I'll book a resource for this project. So this is the schedule board that comes with project operations, and I can put in some search criteria over here. So the great thing is because this is now fully, it's really the one application right now. I can define all my resources with the roles and all the necessary and all the skills to the role, and using this filter view, I can then search for all the resources that I require for a specific date and for a specific role, or in the different region that I want, as well as their characteristics that I require in order to perform this this project. So let me pick a person. So give me 1 second. Just gonna select Ashley, and I can put in the date that I want for this booking. So by default, it set it to hard at this stage, and I can choose how much I require for this booking. So I'll put 10 for now. And once I book this resource, it's going to assign this resource to my project. So if I go to the team section right now, you can see Ashley has been added to this project for 10 hours. I can also assign the new resource to that task. So let me click on that, and it's going to show me all the team members that's been assigned to this project. I can also select a different resource from here as well. But for this case study, I'm just going to pick Ashley, who I've booked for 10 hours. So once I've booked a resource, it will actually update my estimated labor costs. Okay, so that has gone up after I've added Ashley. Okay, let me just move back to my slide. So essentially, I've covered the finding the project, booking a resource using the schedule board, as well as assigning the resource to the task. So the next case, the next slide that I'm covering over here is basically a day in the life for a project manager. So what he would do typically, I've just picked 3 things. Essentially, he will be looking at timesheets and expenses for approval. He will also look at the project progress. He will also, if there's any milestone fixed price project, he will be selecting all the milestones that is ready for invoicing. So I'm going to go back to my environment here. Okay, so let me go to my next tab over here. Now, so this is essentially the project manager dashboard. This is what Ken will see when he logs on to project operations. So I can see all the, essentially here it gives me the cost by month. I can see the total sales as well. Now, the great thing about this is I can click on that the ellipse button, and I can go to view records. And this will show me the cost by the project breakdown. Okay. Now, from here, I can actually click on a project that I would like to view, for example. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to navigate back to my project that I was working on. Just give me 1 second. Let me pick the, so this is my time and material project. Okay, so as you can see, as the timesheet comes in, now before I look at this timesheet, before I actually look at the different inquiry, let me go back to my homepage, and I'm actually gonna show you the approvals. If there's any approvals, I will be able to see under the approval section. So let me minimize this screen over here. Now, as you can see, I've got some timesheets that's required for approval. Now, the good thing about this is I can actually change the grouping. So if I change it to project, it will actually group all the time entries that I need to approve by the project. And I can double click into this timesheet and have a look at the details of this timesheet. And it also tells me what this timesheet is related to. So I'm just going to approve this. Let me approve this, and that will update my project. Okay. Now, if I want to approve any expenses for the project, I have to toggle on this, and I will select expense entries for approval. So again, if I change this to project, it will group my expenses by project as well. So I can see over here, I've got an expense for my time and material project. And it's a mileage for on-site meeting. So I will go ahead and approve this expense. So let me approve that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my project. And I'm going to select my time and material project. Okay, so that's my time and material. So let me just minimize the navigation. So as you can see, it also gives you a high level of the progress of this project and the cost that has been allocated to this project. So now if I go to the tracking tab, that will actually show me, firstly, by default, it will show me the effort. So because when I created all my tasks, I have put in the estimated hours to complete a certain task. So as the timesheets comes in, it also updates my actual hours that have been recorded for this project by the task. So you can see over here, it tells me that I have this many hours left remaining. So I can toggle this to cost. And again, it will show me the estimation to complete. It also give me the remaining cost that's left, essentially my remaining budget, and as well as it gives me the total of the cost by the breakdown of the task. So again, I can toggle this and it will show me my estimated revenue as well as how much that I have actually billed. Okay, so that's the day in the life. And the final task that I will actually do is I have created a fixed price for the Melbourne airport. So let me go to that project. And again, let me bring that up first. So essentially, I basically will do the same thing. I will track how well this project is going, how much budgeted versus actual for this project. And the next thing that I will actually do as a project manager is I will indicate which milestone that's ready for billing. So remember, I have set up the different invoice schedule during my quotation stage. So because I've directly, basically I won that quotation and that opportunity. So it has actually recorded to this project as well. So if I go to the sales section, I can see the project line that is specific for this, this contract line that's specific to this project. So let me click into the contract line. It takes me back to that line, that contract line, and I can view the invoice schedule over here. So as a project manager, I'm happy that this milestone, I will indicate that it's ready for invoicing. So I'll click into that. And I will change the status here to ready for invoicing. So let me close that. Okay. And so that concludes the project manager task. Now I'm going to go back to my slide. And we'll look at the next bit. So this bit that I'm going to show you is really high level right now. So it's for invoicing. So at each period, Anne will go in. So Anne is the AR team member, and she will then generate the billing for the project, all the projects and all contracts at Precision Cleaning. So what Anne will do is she will go to the contract and she will click on generate invoice. So what that happens is it will look at all the lines that is ready for invoicing, and the draft invoice will be created, and it will be ready. It will be available for review, and also lastly sent to the customer. So let me go back to my environment, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to toggle to the contract. So I'm going to go to project contracts, and I'm going to go into the contract that I was working on in this case study. So that's my contract over here. And there's an option here to generate the invoice. So there's just because my screen size is a bit small, so that's why it's just moved to the menu. So I'll just generate my invoice, and that will look at all the lines that's ready for invoicing, and it should pick up my milestone billing. So right now, as you can see over here, this is the draft invoice. And in this draft invoice, it has also shown all the related project for this invoice. But in this draft invoice that I can see is essentially the milestone payment that I've indicated that is ready for invoicing. Okay, so I'm able to move it to the next stage for review. And I wouldn't be able to do this completely, but essentially what will happen is I will be able to confirm this invoice. And once this is confirmed, it will be sent to the customer. Now, okay, so that basically concludes my demo. But the one thing that I wanted to show is how it all links back to finance and operations. Now, because these are all dual write, it's using a standard dual write template. Every time when I create a customer or a contact or a project, it all goes back to finance and operations. And all these are actually view only in this in finance and operations section. So firstly, I'm going to go to accounts receivable. And if I look for Melbourne Airport, it has gone and created the customer account and all the related information for Melbourne Airport. So that's the address that it has captured, for example, and also any contact information. The next thing I want to quickly show you is if I go to project management and accounting, and if I go to all projects, I can show you the 2 projects that was created as part of this case study. So that's my 2 projects over here. And I'm just going to open up the fixed price project. Oops, sorry. So if I click on that, it will take me back to project operations. But what I wanted to show you is the on-account transactions. So if I go into this on-account transactions for the fixed price, you can see the milestone that I generated in project operation. It has come and updated the milestone payment on the on-account tab, and this is all read-only. Okay, so let me go back over here. So essentially that concludes my case study. Then I'm going to pass this back to Faisal.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. I'll quickly present my screen here. So we will just go with a summary first, and we will take a quick question and answers. So the summary is consider your go-to-market strategy. What features are currently coming, where Microsoft is heading to. So we have to go with the market strategy, whatever is we are getting from Microsoft for now. And second, which we can summarize here, is the gear up for future. So cross skilling from finance and operations, CE consultants, and Power Platform. We are very excited to work into the customer engagement environments since last few months. I and Esther, being the whole finance and operations technical and functional consultant, but now we know how we can move, we can all do all our things into the CE environment, where we can navigate, where we can go, how we create a couple of project contracts. So that is something like we have to upskill each and every individual into our organization. So the future is very bright. Great learning contents available online, and also we are going to share all the references there. If you want to have some, you should have at least a better understanding about the dual right for this particular case study, or for this particular integration, how you can connect. So there are many Microsoft Docs article. You can also check my blogs. I have written so much about dual right, so it's all step-by-step trainings available on my blogs too. Engage with your Microsoft via Insider program. You can join them on Yammer group and engage with your community like what we are doing today. And thanks again to the Power community. And this is how you can learn. Then what we got here as a next slide. If you still have any questions, so you still have more chances to learn, you can reach out to us, myself and Esther. We are going again to present into our own ANZ Finance and ANZ Dynamics 365 FinOps team on 20th of March at 2 p.m. of Australian time. So that will be a live stream event. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can follow us onto our this LinkedIn group there, and you can also join us on our meetup page. So any questions, guys? Esther is again going to present a brief or a deep dive into a case study. If we are not able to answer any questions today, we are still learning. then we will explore it and we will answer it on 20th of March for you. These are the references which we actually combine from different resources. So you can ask, you can go and check this video there. There is a demonstration from Microsoft Ignite. You can join Microsoft LinkedIn page there. That is the Microsoft product managers and product engineers page there. Feel free to join this page. Microsoft is openly answering all the questions, and there is a manual provisioning instructions available provided by Microsoft. So I have uploaded this into on my OneDrive link. Feel free to download from it from there. These are the community, some blocks references from Microsoft, and then these are all the setup of Dualite, how you can do Dualite, what can be done. And the last, I have put my blog article here, so you can follow me on my blogs. If you have any questions about anything about Dualite, please feel free to reach out to me. So with this one, we are done with the demonstration and the case study. So we'll just quickly go through a couple of questions there. So Dr. Ludwig asked the question why we. So do you have a function for calculating the earned value of the project? I'm not quite sure about this calculation. Esther, do you have any idea about, do we have any function available to calculate the earned value of the project into customer engagement?
As far as I know, it is built upon the product price list, as well as the estimated hours that you would enter for that specific project. And it will use that two information, and it will give you a calculated estimated amount. So that's include the cost as well as revenue.
Perfect, thank you. So do you have any insights why Microsoft is rebuilding what is available into PMA in Dynamics 365 Finance Operations? That's a very good question. But what Microsoft aim and vision is to provide a cross-functional teams into a one single app, so that you can spend some time onto your productivity and win more deals rather than integrating different apps. Because one of the example is work breakdown structure is too complex to handle into finance and operations. So that is one of the examples which I can share it here. Then we got a next question. All this seems to be available. Yes, I have answered this one, Krishna. Thanks for your question again. Will sub projects be a possibility? Yes, it will be a possibility. Yes, definitely. I don't see any limitations with the sub projects. So we only got a last 1 minute, guys. If you still have any questions, as I did share, please do subscribe to our next talk onto our ANZ FinOps community event, and we are happy to take more questions there.
Thank Faisal for your time. It was a good session.
Thank you. Thank you, Swift.